Good afternoon, kings and queens, beautiful people. Listen, it's your girl Strong Jewel, the Vibe Queen, man. We are back. Yes, we are, for another phenomenal guest and an epic interview, man. Definitely looking forward to this one. Shout out to everybody right now, man. Listen, hope you're enjoying your weekend thus far. And listen, shout out to everyone on the pull-up. I see y'all coming in. Hey, shout out to Phoenix in the building. Shout out to It's the Kid. I see you. And I got, listen, a phenomenal queen is joining me, man. I just seen her on the live. So I'm super excited about this interview today, man. Listen, if you have a business, or if you're thinking of starting a business, you need to tap in, all right? Because I'm telling you, man, we have Terri Couser is in the building. I'm going to tell you a little bit about her. I'm going to bring her on in a second, but she is a board certified credit consultant. Oh my goodness, she does a whole heap of things, man. And she's also a certified life coach. So listen, we're gonna be dropping some gems and some jewels, man. I'm definitely excited to get her in the building. So let me bring my guest on, man. She's such a beauty as well. And guess what? She's Aquarius. Aquarius is rock, right? So do all the other star signs. We love y'all too, but you know, we bias when you know someone that's the same star sign as you. You get what I'm saying? Shout out to I Am Star Model in the building. What's good? I see you, gorgeous. And shout out to all of you on the pull-up. Listen, before we even get into the interview, if you're not following us, I don't know what happened. Make sure you follow us at The Vibe Show 97.9 FM and Live Vibe Radio on Instagram. Make sure you subscribe to the channels as well, Live Vibe Radio and The Vibe Show 97.9 FM on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button, man, and also make sure you hit the notification bell. You'll be notified every time we go live even. But let me bring my beautiful guest in. Let me just see. Let me send her a request to come in, and we're literally starting next week. So stay locked in for that. I cannot wait, man. Cannot wait. Yes, the queen is in the building. There she is.
I'm good first. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm gonna turn the music down. Yes, looking beautiful as always.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here. So I'm sorry. Look, it was not saying you were live. I said the devil is a lie. I want to get on this live today.
Yeah, yes. You know what? I'm super excited about this. I know we were due to do it before, and we have to reschedule. So you know, now we're here. So yeah, I'm really excited. So you know, I mean, you know, you are absolutely phenomenal at what you do. I follow your page. You know, all the gems and the jewels that you just give people on business credit and everything. It's just, I mean, it's just, if anyone hasn't tapped in to Terri, y'all need to tap into her, okay? Because make sure you follow her. Click the top of the page right now. If you click where it says Strong Jewel and you'll see Terri's name, click that credit tools. Make sure you follow first and foremost. All right, very important. So I'm really excited to kind of get into you know, everything about you. But before I do, how's your day been?
My day has been amazing. My day is always amazing because it's a choice. Listen, and I've just been excited to talk to you guys. And I've been, first of all the phenomenal music that you showcase, like I absolutely love it because I'm very big on people using their gift. Look, and when people have a platform like this and they're singing and they're MCs and they're poets and everything, it's just amazing to see. So I'm excited to be here. Super. And Philly in the house. Like, I really love my Aquarius. Like, come on.
Yes, definitely. Listen, shout out to all your people pulling up, man. Shout out to all the Vibe family in the building and all Terri people. I see you all pulling up. Listen, definitely appreciate you guys being here. If you could do us one favor, if you could share this out, this is going to be such an important, like I said, this is going to be such an important interview for all the jewels and the gems that are going to be dropped. And obviously, we're going to find out more about Terri herself. So if you could share this out to at least, like, even if you all did 3 people, that's fine.
3 or 5. 3 or 5,
not asking much. Send it out to the inbox. Yes, let's get this live pippity popping, man. I see everyone pulling up now. That's dope. Shout out to all of you. So listen, so Terri, say your name right.
But first of all, I like the way you said it. That was way more cool. Terri Couser. Listen, I'm about to change it. Terri Couser. I like how you said it a little bit better, actually. It's Terri Couser.
How do you say it then? Terri Couser. Okay. You know, it's just be I think it's an English thing, man. Like, Terri Couser. I'm gonna say it your way.
It's fine.
You need to say it my way, but I'm gonna say it your way. So, yeah. So you know, I know you, man, you do a multitude of things, you know, being an entrepreneur, obviously, you know, you are a child of God. Ah, man, God first over everything, definitely without a shadow of a doubt. You know, you are a coach, you know, you got degrees, like, okay, so we're gonna, how did it all start? Let's go right back, break it down. Like, how did it all start? What did you start, like, how did it all start for you? Like, and what were you thinking when you were younger? Were you thinking this was the field you wanted to get into, or did you have another passion that
Yeah,
you were,
so
you know,
honestly,
pushing to
like
do?
I never ever imagined, like, you know, I'm a 70s baby, right? 70s, 80s baby. So there wasn't even like, you know, YouTube and all the social media. But I will say this, you know, I actually wanted to be, at one point I wanted to be a lawyer. Like I got the gift of gab. I'm like, I'm about to be a lawyer. But I used to always have visions. This is where the spiritual part comes in. I used to always have visions of me like on stages and speaking with microphones. I mean, like as a young girl, I mean, I would see stadiums, I would see churches, I would see just all kinds of stages of me speaking, but I never know who I was speaking to or what I was speaking about. And you know what happens. Look, adult life happens and we have kids and, you know, you have a corporate job. So I had a corporate job and you know, fast track it. You know, I was great big title, big salary, absolutely positively miserable. Come on, somebody out there. If you can understand just doing what you have to do, but not really being happy, and I just knew that there was something more, like something that I had a burning desire, and got introduced to network marketing. Shout out to my Organo family, coffee. I love coffee. And it was my introduction to personal development, coaches, wealth building. It was my very first time seeing people that looked like me, that were multimillionaires, and just really like just living a different lifestyle. I just was like, you know, God gave me a gift for a reason, or something I'm supposed to be doing. And I'll just say one thing, you know, when you look at somebody, you never know their story. So I was, you know, in foster care. I was in group homes. You know, both of my parents struggled with addiction, and I became a mom at 17. So for everybody out there, that thing that was meant to break me was the thing that became my superpower. It was the thing that made me say, I'm about to go harder because I don't want my son. Look, come on, somebody. I don't want my son to grow up like me. And so I bought my very first house at the age of 21 while only making $14 an hour. Let me say it again. My first house.
Hold on 1 minute.
Yes, and so the reason why I say that is because it was because of credit. It was because of looking good on paper. And so it was my belief house. And from there, that's where everything really kind of unfolded, because I realized that if you can look good on paper, you can leverage that to not only build wealth, but to change the generations coming behind you, to impact your family. And so that was really like that very first house when I was 21 was like the beginning of everything. That was my belief house.
Wow, that's amazing. Like, you know, again, like I take my hat off to you, and you're so inspirational. And you know, people were saying about you got great energy. You definitely do. It must be an Aquarius thing, for real. Because you know, like you said, all those adversities that were set to derail you. You know what I'm saying? And you just, you know, with God by your side, you know, keeping God first, you were able to just, you know, fly into it and, you know, stay grounded and you know, stay strong and head fast and just, you know, get involved in it all. So how long have you been, so how long were you in the corporate field? And then how long have you been in, you know, doing the counseling?
How about, I got a whole pension, y'all, because I did a 10-year bid. I did a 10-year bid in corporate America because I have, you know, I went to Villanova because I didn't know anything else. Like, come on, somebody. Some of us, we're the first in our families. I know who our audience is, and usually we're the first generation entrepreneurs, you know, investors, all those things. So I only knew going to work. And so I actually was in, you know, I worked for TransUnion, obviously for a national credit bureau, but I also worked for the corporate office at Enterprise Rent-A-Car. I was an executive in healthcare. So I have a whole pension, y'all. Right. Yes, like from doing that. But I left my job. Now, to be responsible, I'm not saying everybody just go and leave your job, but I'm an Aquarius. I do everything 1,000%. So I just didn't go back to work one day. God sustain me, but I left. So I left my corporate position in 2016. I incorporated this brand right here in 2017. I've been a fully self-employed entrepreneur since 2017, but I have over 20 years of experience because I was updating credit files, because everybody today, don't get me started, love. Everybody today is a credit specialist. Everybody's a credit specialist, but no, I was literally updating thousands of reports for people across the nation before credit repair was a thing, before YouTube, before Instagram. So I have over 20 years of experience in credit and finance and business credit and personal credit experience that you cannot buy. Experience that nobody else out here has, because nobody else, and I'm gonna say it heavy, nobody else out here in this industry actually works for a national credit bureau but me.
Hold on. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Man, that's so dope. And I just want to let you know how I found out about you. Actually, I wish I could remember the name of the podcast. You was on. It was someone I follow. I can't. Sorry, forgive me, guys. I can't remember the name of your podcast because you know I would shout you out. I'm all about showing support. But yeah, that's when I saw you on there, and I was, I tapped in, and I was like, yo, she's dope, man. Like, and the information is just, I'm telling you, man. Like you say, like the information is like gold dust what you give out. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, definitely got to tap her and get her on here. But that's dope. So all right. So okay. So going back to, I'm gonna take you back again.
Listen, I'm rocking with you. You rocking, I'm rolling.
Hey, that's what I love. So listen, I know someone said in there, shout out to the rock stars. That's what's up. Listen, yeah, when you were so going back to your childhood, so you said you were in and out. You say in and out of foster care?
We all look, and I'm just going to be honest, right? You see people now and you prejudge them. Everybody looks all done up and all perfect. And one thing I want to say to everybody out there, because I know if you're following me, if you're following her, like if you're following the channel, then you're somebody who's trying to do something different. Stop comparing your year one to somebody else's year 5, 10, 20. You don't know what their journey is. Look, come on, somebody. Sometimes we want their results, but we don't want that story, right? And so both of my parents struggled with addiction, my mom and my father. And so I was in and out of foster care, in and out of group homes. And I'm just going to say it because I'm going to be me. I'm a minority. I'm a female. I was in foster care. I was a teen mom. There was literally, the odds of me having any success were like zero. Like the dialogue around me was, you're going to be on welfare. You're not going to do anything but God. Because that's why I said, like, to anybody out there, like, don't be a victim of your circumstances. So when I became a mom, my oldest son gave me a reason to live. Like, it's like it lit a fire under me because I didn't know how to be a good parent. I didn't know about wealth building and entrepreneurship, but I just knew that I did not want him to grow up like me. So that the reason why I do my brand is because I'm grateful. Like, I'm gonna be honest. Like, it wasn't like I want to be a YouTuber. It wasn't YouTube when I was out here doing this. I was investing in real estate. What about 2004, before the market crash? Like, it was way before everything. I was out here doing this, and so I just knew that I didn't have mommy and daddy to help me. I didn't have a support system. I didn't have somebody showing me, having Sunday dinners with me. I've gotten clothes from the Salvation Army before. That will humble you. Look, that will humble you. And so that's why I just was like, I figured out a way to look good on paper. And now I'm a self-employed entrepreneur, multiple businesses, multiple houses, multiple cars, help people across the nation travel out of the country to impact and empower people. And it's not because of me. It's because he kind of saved me going through the valley. But more importantly, it's also not unique to me. It's a proven system, meaning that anybody can duplicate the steps to build wealth. So my give back is like, hey guys, if there's nobody helping you, that's okay. We're trailblazers. We the one that's going to make the way. We're the one that's going to go ahead and get that success, get that generational wealth, get the blueprint going, and then we're going to teach the people coming behind us, our brothers, our sisters, our nephews, our nieces, our sons, our daughters, and sometimes, y'all, even our parents. Come on, they didn't know. If your parents didn't know, if your grandparents didn't know, you may not know, right? But there's no excuses in the information stage that we're in, right? So when you know better, you do better. And so that's part of one thing about these platforms. I just thank you so much. Is because, knowledge is priceless. Now, I'll add one thing to that, though. Knowledge is powerful, but execution, come on, somebody, is where you get the result. Because all the information in the world means absolutely nothing if you're not going to use it. Boom.
Period. Hold on, gotta clap out, girl.
I had coffee, so I'm on like 1,000 right now.
That's a fact. Listen, I think I need me some, man. I've been ripping and running all day, like literally. No better to stop. Like, even before this, I was like, okay, I don't know what needs to pick me up. I should have had some coffee, man. Because look at that energy that you're exuding from that. Don't. But you have a lot of energy anyway. You know, that's an Aquarian thing too. You know, you know what I'm saying? We have that. But listen, I was gonna say to you. So, all right, let's go back to what you said as well about looking good on paper. Tell us, because you know we got people here. Like, so can you explain that a little bit?
1,000%. And what I'm even going to say is I'm so grateful for being on this platform, because a lot of times, depending on our different industries, you may be like, all right, well, I'm an MC, I'm an artist, like, you know, I'm not maybe always plugged into this type of like the credit and all those kinds of things. But what people don't realize is that you can use business credit and personal credit. You can use business credit and do something like house hacking and buy a duplex and triplex and live in one unit and have one unit be a studio and rent out another unit and live rent free. Live mortgage free. You can use business credit cards for things like microphones, laptops, lighting, cameras. I mean, I have equipment in my studio that's, you know, a good amount of money. Well, I paid for it with business credit. Why? Because I'm being wise and I'm letting my business, my brand, my gift pay for itself. So looking good on paper. I'm very big on giving like action items, tangible things. So everybody out there, you should have a 700 and above personal credit score, period. Start right there. You're going to need that for personal and for business credit. I also want to say that you don't necessarily have to be a real estate investor, but real estate is still one of the #1 ways to not only generate wealth, but to transfer wealth. Come on, somebody, transfer. Your son, your daughter, they may not be an artist. They may not want that. They may be, you know, a nurse. There may be something else where they can't use the same gifts you have to build. So it's like if you use your gift to get income and put into things like real estate and other things, you can generate wealth and you can transfer that on. And so having 700 and above credit scores, owning some, look, the essence of wealth is ownership. Look, own your masters. Look, own your.
Yes.
Listen, like, so first of all, I love music. Like, I like literally, I listen to music like all day long. Like, this is just like, it's just my thing. But anyway, it for me, it impacts my mood. Like, you know, it depends on what, like, it just helps me. It helps me get clarity. And so, owning the essence of wealth is owning. So own whatever, own your business, own your brand, own your clothing line, own your masters, own your book, own your coaching ownership. And the last thing I would say is that whatever it is you're doing out there, I don't care what kind of business or gift you have, incorporate it so you can build business credit. Business credit can be built, like literally I have people that have 6 figures in 3 to 6 months. Period. Way faster than personal credit. And so I don't care if it's a side hustle. You do not have to be a self-employed entrepreneur. You just need to incorporate that thing, go through a couple of steps, and literally you can have, like, everybody out there could a $25,000 business credit card help you right now. Who couldn't use that for something right now? That could be your marketing, that could be your advertising, that could be your travel, that could be your wardrobe, right? I'm trying to think about, you know, your actual audience and them being exposed to the fact that there's a wiser way to do this when not using your own money. Your hard-earned money should go into the bank. Well, to invest.
Definitely. And I want to just say as well, like, you know, obviously, kind of, you know, on that side of things, like you say, you know, using the business credit stuff. I feel like what people fail to realize as well is when you, even an artist, right? Just like you said, an artist, you are a business. Like, you are a business. Anything, you know, whatever you do, you should be looking at yourself as a business, and you should be registering. Registering. Yes,
I got you.
Some coffee, girl. I need some coffee. I do. You should be registering yourself as a business. And when it comes to taxes, like, you'll be surprised how much, once you register your business, how much you can actually write off. Like Terri just said. So, you know, your money becomes your money. And then guess what? Like, even when it comes to taxes, you ain't really got to worry about too much, because, like, for instance, okay, listen, like, if you have a business and you don't have, you know, you haven't got an office or whatever, you can actually have you could have your business from home. And then, you know what I'm saying? You claim stuff like, you know, supplies and stuff like that. And it's really amazing how much you can actually write off under your taxes when you register your business.
Let me tell you
and
something.
You do it that way.
The tax laws, like literally, the tax laws are written for homeowners and business owners. Period. Like, if you think about anybody who really builds big, they leverage the tax laws. And so we're not taught this. This is why I'm so passionate about my brand, and I really educate. I'm not one of the people to say, well, do a couple of things and then, you know, invest in this course, or do it. Like, I have over 1,000 videos on YouTube that I give so much information, because they They don't teach it in school. They don't teach it in college. We don't talk about it at the dining room table. And a lot of times, to be honest, people go out of business or they're not able to use their gift because they have to pay bills. They don't realize that there's a better way of doing it. So what I would say to everybody out there, and I agree with you 1,000%. I don't care if you walk dogs. I don't care if you cook. I don't care if you babysit. All of it is a business. Everybody out there has some type of gift. There is a business. We're just not looking good on paper. So incorporate, so I can give them a couple of like tangible items. Incorporate.com and Inkfile, INCfile.com. Those are two online websites that will literally, and I'm not an affiliate for either one of them. I'm just giving game right now, okay? They will register your business with the state, get your EIN, do your articles of incorporation, do everything for you. Sometimes it's for anywhere between $100 and $500. Sometimes it's zero when they have specials, and you just pay your state fee. So incorporate.com and Inkfile. They literally specialize in incorporating businesses all across the USA. Get your stuff done right. And literally, when somebody says to me, well, I don't have $100, you got $100 for Uber Eats, you got $100 for weave, you got $100 for your nail, for your waxing, for going out. So can you sacrifice in a season, right, to get what you want for a lifetime, to get something that's going to be 6 and 7 figures for you? So incorporate.com and Inkfile, you can literally, what are we in? We're in July. You will, look, I'm going to speak life. You will end the year a business owner, a legitimate business owner.
I'm a man to that. Come on. I told you guys it's gonna be like major gems and jewels, man. You gotta tap in, like, for real. This is serious. And you know, like you just said as well, you know, going back to school and that, like, it's crazy, like, because all right, I'm kind of passionate on this topic. It's crazy because if you really think about it, man, if I don't know how the school system is now, obviously, because again, you know, I'm kind of not giving my age away, but you know, I relate to you. I'm gonna say that, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, like you know, going all the way back, like, you know, it's like simple things. Like when I was at school, we never got told to open an account. Like you never get told to open accounts and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, our parents didn't really know unless they had someone telling them, which was very rare. And now, you know what I'm saying? Like I think things are changing slightly in some schools from what I know. But still, like, it's important. It's so important, because I really feel like, you know what, with everything that's going on in the world, the amount of trauma and the amount of, we see suicides and things like that, if people only knew these jewels that you give out, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like it would save so much, like, pain for a lot of people, whether it's, you know, pain from financial losses based on the fact that they don't understand, you know what I mean, that, you know, okay, if I registered my talent as a business or whatever, you know, myself, then, you know, I would be saving money. You get what I'm saying? Or whether it's just, you know, or whether, again, it's just the fact of even believing in themselves. You know, you give people belief, to believe that you can go out there and you don't have to be a nobody, you know what I'm saying? And just because, you know, your parents were whatever, and that you can change the narrative at any time. And one thing I also want to say to people out there as well, which I'm sure you agree, is age ain't nothing but a number. Never could, like you said at the beginning, never compare your story and where you're at with someone else. Never look at someone else and be inspired, but never look at them and be like, oh man, why am I there? You never know what people have gone through. Everyone's story is different. Everybody is, you know what I mean? Everybody is on their own journey. And yeah, what's meant to be will be, man. And like you said as well, as long as you stay focused on your path, you know, put God first, stay focused, man, stay driven, then, you know, the world is yours.
What you said is so powerful, and I don't think people realize, like, they will let you get, I'm gonna be honest right now, I believe in the school system. I have 2 degrees, right? But I'm gonna be honest, if I knew then what I knew now, I didn't necessarily need that for the route that I was actually going. I'm not knocking it, but what I'm saying is it did teach me how to be professional. It taught me how to network. It taught me a lot how to run my business like a business. But I'll be honest, our school system, they'll let you get $200,000 in student loan debt, but they won't teach you how to get a $10,000 business loan. Come on, somebody, right? Like, that's the listen. Everything gets solved for the people in the back. They'll let you get $200,000 with the student loan debt, and and won't teach you how to get a $10,000 business loan. I'm going to be honest with you. You would be surprised who my clients are. I have lawyers. I have some people in the NBA. I have other influencers. I have somebody, you know, a professional fighter. Like, you'd be surprised who my clients are. So just people making income doesn't equate to them understanding how to leverage and to build and to invest. So I would say to everybody out there, I have people that work part-time at Giant and people who are 6 and 7 and 8-figure entrepreneurs who come to me and say, I'm making all this money. I don't even know what to do with it. I don't know how to grow it. I don't know how to protect it. I don't know how to transfer it. So for anybody out there, even if you had a certain level of success, don't think that it's strange. Don't think that it's don't feel bad that you're not sure where to go from here, right? Especially when you're the first in the family to actually do it. And so it's very important to kind of learn how to not only how to make the money, but also how to leverage it, how to grow it. And the last thing I'll also say too is what you said about just the age where, especially coming out of COVID-19, where there's so much depression, so much mental health, so much, you know, there's been increases in suicide. I'm a whole nerd, so I read behind the scenes. And think about when people use their gift. Think about the people that when they sing, it brings them joy. When they are MC, it brings them joy. When they perform, it brings them joy. You know, when they're doing helping another brand, it brings them joy. A lot of times we stop doing those things because we have bills and we have all these things, and that kind of leads to it, right? Like I'm a speaker, right? Like I get like it literally brings me joy to share. That's my gift, speaking life. So what I would say to you guys out there is dedicate the time to learning how to do it. It doesn't take that long, but anything worth having is worth working hard for. And just doing a couple of steps can literally, I mean, even to my artists out there, sometimes just travel credit cards can change your life. Getting your car in your business name can change your life. 1 or 2 small things can literally change your entire reality and help you be able to be the best you, so you can then pour into other people and use your gift.
Definitely. See what I'm saying? Again. Definitely. And you know what? Like, okay, I have so much I want to say right now. I'm just trying to, like, yeah, it's like I'm trying to think, where am I going to go first? Where am I going to go first? So back to the student loan thing, right? This is another thing that kills me, like you said. That they'll show you how to get, you know, whatever, 200 grand student loan, whatever, and they won't, you know, help you or tell you how to get, you know, like you said, 10,000 loan, a business loan, you know, first business loan, whatever, or business credit, whatever, yeah. But the thing is as well, they don't even tell you how to get out of, like, they'll put you in the debt, but they ain't telling you how to get out of it. You know, I had this run-in with this girl, right? And it was so sad. The girl was like, she was 19, I think. And she had like probably 60,000 in student debt. And she couldn't make the payment. She wasn't earning enough. And this girl was telling me, and she broke down. And it was like, it actually made me cry. Like, I actually had a tear coming down my face for her, because I was just devastated. I'm like, yo, this girl is young. You already carrying this bag of stress on your shoulders from, like you said, no disrespect to anybody out there. I would always say, yeah, get your degrees in that. You know, I wish I have a criminal law one, but I wish, you know, I did more. But at the same time, like, and I would go back actually and do it. You know, if the time was right, I would probably go back and expand on it. But like, I'm not saying don't do it, but really in the grand scheme of things, like, having a degree doesn't mean, like, it doesn't really mean that you're going to be super successful financially at all. In fact, sometimes having the degree can put you in the adverse position. But I'm not saying, disclaimer again, I'm not saying don't do it, because it's a very powerful thing to do, and I would recommend anyone do it. But at the same time, I'm just saying. So I'm saying that to say to the people out there, if you haven't got one, don't think because you haven't got degrees that you can't be an entrepreneur. You know how many entrepreneurs and millionaires I know that don't have no degrees?
A book I just read, like, and I'll say it to everybody because you can do audiobooks. It's called The 21. It's only an hour and like 15 minutes. There's a free audiobook on YouTube called The 21 Success Secrets of Self-Made Millionaires. And the majority of people who are like legit millionaires have done it from the mud, from the ground up. Like, they're the first in their family. Not many of them, you know, are like those great big families like, you know, Louis Vuitton and Gucci and all those things where stuff was like kind of passed down. Well, Gucci is a whole other thing because they don't even own the rights anymore. But what I'm saying, what I was saying is that there's another way, even with student loan debt, right? So I had a corporate, so a nugget out here, right? So for everybody new, when I do my videos, I drop nuggets through my videos. So I'm gonna drop some nuggets in here to help you guys. To just give you just some quick tips. And like, so some of us have jobs, right? You have full-time jobs and you're not using the benefits. My master's is in human resources development. So when I was in corporate America, every single semester I used tuition reimbursement. It was $8,000 a semester. So every semester I went 2 classes and I used my job's tuition reimbursement. So when I was working, it was a Cigna. I started there with 0 degrees and no kind of extra like formal education. And I ended that job before I launched this business with my project management certification, my bachelor's and my master's from Villanova, and more than 50% of it was paid for by the company. So nugget out there, anybody who's working full-time right now and you are pursuing a certificate, a degree, because so much more is paid for right now, if you're going to go do it, see how much that they can help you pay for if it's related to your job, because even a couple $1,000s per semester can like save you so much later on. And the second thing I'll say about the young lady, you have no, let me tell you something, you have no idea the stories that I hear. I have legit real estate attorneys that are clients, that somebody in particular I'm thinking in my mind because his story was crazy, who had almost $400,000 worth of student loan debt. And because his debt to income ratio, he's a real estate attorney that did not own a home, could not afford to buy a home because his ratios, I want you guys to understand, coming out of school and being a lawyer, you may be making between $60,000 and $80,000 if you're working for a firm, and then you may get commissions based on your case. I'm just giving you guys an example because it doesn't always equate, right? And so he had all this debt. He's making like $80,000, but you have $400,000 worth of debt because you have an advanced degree, right? And so what I would say to everybody out there, if you're in school, try to pay the principal, try and pay as much as you want, apply for grants, apply for any kind of tuition reimbursement. If you can pay things off while you're in school, at least you'll end without that much. And then lastly, incorporate your side hustle, because at the end of the day, it's about making income. Let's say you do makeup, you do hair, you do lashes, you're an MC. How can you monetize that passion and get extra income so that when you are ready to do things like buy real estate, you're able to actually do it?
Right, there you go, man. Powerful, I'm telling you, man. It's powerful information. Like I'm telling you, Terri is on it, man. Terri is so super dope. I'm telling you, definitely bring her on here so everyone can tap in. And like how has it been for you, like with starting the business and stuff? Have you ever, like, because you in like on the financial side with the credit and stuff, have you ever had to take any L's though? Because I know with me, like with my radio business, with the second radio business I had, like I made a lot of money, but I took so many financial L's because I wasn't, how can I say it? I was in it. Like how they say if you don't, like, you just, how can I say it? Like, yeah, I was just going with it. Like, I was busy, just doing it. Yeah, thinking I was doing the right thing, getting the trademarks and which was right. But then I got into like legal issues with trademarking and, with big billion-dollar company and stuff like that. Even though the name wasn't trademarked.
Right.
That's crazy, but that's for a whole nother conversation. So I ended up, basically losing a lot of money, like thousands. But I took it, my attitude was, and I would say this was like my attitude to get over it. Because I have quite a good attitude with things, was for one, it's a lesson learned, and two, I just looked at like the income that the business made and what the outgoings were, and I was like, well, technically you could just say that I really I didn't make anything. You get what I'm saying? Because what I made went out. You get what I'm saying? Like, yeah. Well, like, has that with you in your business? Did you ever go through that? Like, because they say like every entrepreneur that goes through like takes L's, like losses financially.
Let me tell you something. I believe in being transparent, and the people that like follow me where I've done like a lot of lives and stuff, I've said I've made a lot and I've lost a lot. Having a gift in me, having like knowing about credit doesn't equate to me being a good entrepreneur. In the very beginning, I wasn't a good entrepreneur, right? I knew I had a gift, and this is real. Somebody needs to hear that, because sometimes we make sometimes we make mistakes, sometimes we have L's, and we're so hard on ourselves. Guys, give yourself a little bit of grace, right? Because it's through those, this is for somebody on here because I'm feeling it, it's through through those mistakes that you, and I don't even want to say mistakes, it's through those lessons, guys, that you come out of that. I don't know anybody who's wildly successful, who it was just perfect from the very beginning. You do not incorporate your business to become a multimillionaire overnight. It takes, going through some ups and downs. And honestly, I believe that sometimes he humbles us so we can like learn it. It's like, before I'm about to give you this great big blessing, can you handle it? Are you really managing your money? Are you really managing your time? Are you really investing? Are you putting money into frivolous things? Are you doing something you think is the right thing to do when I told you to do something else? So at that, when I first launched my business in 2017, I almost lost everything. I almost lost all of my houses, everything, like literally houses in almost like in Sheriffstown. I'm gonna tell you why. Because I knew that I had a gift, but I didn't know how to get clients. I didn't know how to market. I didn't know how, guys, you can have the best thing, the best marketing, the best song, the best album, the best whatever, you can be the best coach, the best book, but the essence of being an entrepreneur is you have to have clients or customers or income stream. So I had all this knowledge, and I was like, all right, I'm an entrepreneur now, let's go. It's like, look, where's my other phone at? It's like, okay, this thing on, like, where the people at? Where the people at, right? Like if I pay my cell phone bill, like, hello, they know I'm about to try to change their whole life. And so I think that we need to be more honest about that. Like, too many people, I'm gonna just be honest, the internet makes it seem like, everybody is just making like 6 figures a month. That's a whole lie. The percentage of people who are making 6 figures, because I'm a geek, so I like read articles and stuff, is like 6 to 20%, depending on what article you read. That means 6 to 20% of the entire USA makes 6 figures a year, forget a month. And that's entrepreneurs and people who are like, have a regular job. And so what I would say is that I've taken a ton of L's. And I took L's investing in real estate early on because I knew how to look good on paper. I had good energy, but I didn't have a coach. I didn't have a mentor. I didn't have a system. I just was like, buy a house, everything in my name, all kinds of nonsense, right? Because I was young and enthusiastic, but I didn't know how to be a good entrepreneur. And so, yes, I've taken a ton of L's. That's one reason why I educate so much. And for anybody out there who's taking the L, you dust yourself off and you get back up, because it's part of the process.
Oh, you definitely do. Yeah, you definitely do. And actually, you know what? I feel like that as well. When I started my own, because I worked for different radio entities, entertainment, and I learned a lot. But obviously, I didn't learn enough. And I do feel like what you just said. I feel like if I had the mentor I have now, at that point, it would have. I don't even think I would have. I would have not taken any.
Let me tell you something. Now I'm gonna be 1,000% honest. Now is the best time. You can literally generate wealth, be a multi-millionaire, make 6 figures. Like I train people. So I have a coaching program. And I train entrepreneurs, and the very first benchmark I have for them is making $10,000 a month. The first benchmark I have for them is how to make $10,000 a month. That equals about $120,000 a year. So what is that thing that we can actually monetize? Why do I coach at that level? Because if I can teach you how to make $5,000 to $10,000 a month, then that means that all you're going to do is increase that activity. You'll have that knowledge, and then you can make so much more. But it's getting from where you are right now to that $5,000 a month and $10,000 a month, because at the end of the day, I'm going to be honest, people don't usually even have a credit issue. People have an income issue. Having bad credit is the outcome, right? Because you have too many expenses and all those things. And so we just have to, I do believe we have to be more honest about what it really looks like to be an entrepreneur and what this journey looks like. That way, when there's other people going through the process, they don't think that they're off course or they've made too many mistakes. So we have to share more about the fact that you're going to take some L's. That's why when you have information like this, it's the best time. Let me go back to this. It's the best time to be wildly successful, because it's the information stage. When we were doing this, there wasn't YouTube, there wasn't coaches, there wasn't master classes, there wasn't ebooks, there wasn't workshops. So guys, take advantage of that, because a lot of us that were doing it did not have that. And that's one reason why we took like some big L's, big, super L's.
Big Super L's, I'm telling you. And you know what? Actually, it's funny because I got something for you, a bit of information that I found out the other day as well, actually. And actually, I didn't read it, though. Someone told me. Did you know that 77% of Americans, 77%, this is meant to be a fact, 77% of Americans do not even have $400 in an emergency stash for if something goes wrong. They said 77%. I was like,
I didn't know that actual stat, but I will say that should be sobering for somebody out there who thinks that they're not doing it. Like so many of you guys, and I mean it, I just gotta speak life. Like a lot of times I know that when you follow brands like us, you're trying, you're hustling, you're grinding, you want more, you need to do more, you're the trailblazer, you're the leader, you're the person going to break the cycle in your family, right? And sometimes you think that you're not having success, but y'all got $1,000, y'all got $2,000, y'all making $1,000 a month extra on the side, and you're like, oh my God, I'm not a millionaire. And you're doing better than like 50% of the whole USA. Come on, somebody. It's about perspective. And so because of what I see behind the scenes, right? And one reason why I do attract people at all different levels for my brand is because I'm very much into like confidentiality and privacy, but I've had some big names endorse and share their story also because of what I see on the back end. I mean, just professionals, CEOs, lawyers that are really struggling out here. There was an article that came out a couple of years ago that said that accountants, lawyers, and who else was it? Accountants, lawyers, and doctors were among the poor in the USA. Why? Because of all the debt and the equipment and the employees and all those things. They weren't bringing in enough to pay for all those expenses. So for you out there, everything is relative. If you make $100,000 a year, but your bills are $200,000, you're broke. You're more broke than the person who makes $30,000 a year, but other expenses are $20,000 or $10,000. Do you see what I mean? So you're doing it. So the takeaway is you're doing amazing, King. You're doing amazing, Queen. Get the information and execute because it's all part of the process. And many of you are doing better than what you even believe.
Thanks. That's why I wanted to say that too as well, because I believe, like you said, that's going to make so many people out there actually feel a lot better about how they're doing, to know they have, so a lot of people have more than 400, you know, in an emergency stash. So yeah, that's definitely. So I want to tell us a little bit, because I'm loving this conversation, man, but I see the time is flying away. Tell us a little bit about the network that you're on.
Yes, so the Connect Network, I'm so super excited. So I'm on the, so there's a new show called Major Impact. Is on the Connect Network, which is on the CW. Right now the show airs in the DMV area, DCW channel 50, and then what we do is they just started putting some of the replays like on YouTube for the other markets that it's not on, but that's one of the things. It's just been a blessing. That show is specifically for entrepreneurs, and so we highlight successful entrepreneurs. We have them share their gifts, so you know, what is it that they're doing to have success and how can it help you? Everybody, it's how can it help you? We never get on any platform, neither one of us, right, to talk about us. It's how can we provide value to the audience? How can we impact the community, right? Like that's the focus of every single thing we do, and that's also what we do on the show. And so we focus specifically on entrepreneurs and getting capital, building credit, investing, registration. It's actually a finance show. Who would have ever, look, God is so good. Who would have ever thought single mother, teen mom for foster care would be like leading like financial conversations? But yeah, so every Saturday at 11:30 on the DCW channel 50. Yeah.
That's so dope, man. I tell you, when I found out about that, when I read, I was like, yo, that is so dope. But you know, I wouldn't expect nothing less anyway, because you're such a powerful, beautiful, dominant force, and there's nothing that can shake you. And I love that. And I didn't even know, you know, without you, you know, coming on here, I didn't know about your history either. And I'm telling you, it's just, man, you just, again, you know, you're just such an inspiration to so many out there, and you help so many people, you know. And I think that's important too as well. When we do something, is really loving what you do. And I think that actually it's not just loving what you do, but it's having that passion to really help people. You know what I'm saying? Because when you have those two ingredients, man, and you put God first, man, I'm telling you, everything just flows. It's not that you don't stumble and fall on your way sometimes, but at the same time, when you stay on that right path and always have gratitude, I'll be telling people, man, no matter what happens, man, you could listen, no matter what happens to you, right? It can always be worse. There's always someone out there worse. Always have gratitude and say thank you to God. I'm telling you, because when you do, you'll see how things change.
1,000%. Like, there's always a lesson to be learned. I know that I've had, you know, and during this road of entrepreneurship, I'll just be honest, you'll have some dark days. You know, when I first launched my business, I was already a mom. I had already been through a divorce at that point. I have 3 sons. And so when I had, you know, a house, car, mortgages, and things of that nature. And then I started my business and things didn't go so well. Like, guys, I'll be real. Like, I remember being at my dining room table crying, like, God, I know what you showed me. Like, I'm following my passion, my gift. Like, and this is for somebody out there. I started to feel guilty. Like, am I guilty for going after my dreams, knowing that I have children? Jesus, I know that I have, responsibilities. Like, I started to feel like, did I do the wrong thing? I'm going to go back and get a job because it's safe. I bind it up, because if you can just stay the course, he will bless it. And that's what he did. So when he was good, I praised him. And when it was bad, I praised him. And guys, I don't care what your faith is. We're not talking religion. We're talking spirituality. Having that mindset to roll with the punches. Like, I know what you showed me. I know what you showed me. I know what you showed me. That made me get through those dark days. And I'll say it a million times. With the good and the bad, launching my brand and being able to help people is by far one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. And if I had to do it all over again and go through those dark days, I would do it a million times, because the freedom, wealth is really freedom. For everybody out there who may be a single parent, right? Yeah. I can go to the parent-teacher conferences. I can chaperone. I don't miss anything. Like I don't want people to have to say, well, I can't go to Johnny's soccer practice. I can't see my daughter's dance recital because I don't have PTO, or because I have to, check in with somebody, right? Like, seriously, we got to talk about that building, that community, being able to do what I love every single day and have my office in my house. That's not, there's no dollar amount you can put on that. Wealth is freedom.
Facts. 1,000%. That I gotta clap out. So I would like, all right, so listen, I'm gonna throw this out there, throw this little wild card out there, because we got the best person to answer it here. So you have a lot of people out there who have their 9 to 5s, right? Or sorry, not even 9 to 5, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes to 11, whatever. But you get the drift. And they want to leave because they want to pursue, whatever their passion is. But they're scared because they used to say, this is an example, they're making 60 figures. Say, for instance, someone's making 6 figures, not 60. Damn, if you make 60, woo, should be no problem. You should have a lot of money stacked up. Damn,
yes.
6 figures, right? Making 6 figures. But their fear is, okay, I've got all these outgoings. How do I just come away and say, okay, I believe in my passion, don't get me wrong, and I believe in my business, but how do I do that without stressing out? Like, because then it's like, one thing, at least when you do have like your 9 to 5 white collar jobs, like, you've got income coming in that's going to cover all the bills. So what advice do you give to someone out there at this point? Because I know there's so many people out there. I know a whole load of people who are ready to walk away because they know that this is not, I'm not happy here. Like, yes, God, I appreciate it's paying my bills, but how do you what do
yes
you
I talk about this all the time. So let me say, everybody may not necessarily be meant to be a self-employed entrepreneur, but everybody is meant to build wealth. And if you want to leave your job, first, we both want to make sure that you're being responsible, right? Like, your own situation. But what I will say is, guys, do the numbers. Like, so I was an analyst in corporate America. I always say, like, men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. Sometimes we're being held in bondage because it seems like so big, it seems like so much fear. But let's say, your job, so action item, everybody out there, get your paycheck, right? Get your actual paycheck. How much do you make per month? Not gross, talk about the net in your pocket. Okay, so if each paycheck is $1,500, that means you make $3,000 per month. Start there. How much is your job paying you? The next thing is, what are all of your bills and expenses? So all the things that right? Your rent, your mortgage, your car note, everything else. But then also the intangible things. How much are you spending for hair, at the barbershop, for groceries, for gas, all those things. Add up how much money it costs. And shout out to Jamal King, 9 to 5 Millionaire. I'm the credit coach for Make Real Estate Real. We call it the cost to be you. How much do you need to be? How much you need to make per month, right, to actually like sustain your actual life? And then think about your passion, your gift. What is it you have? For example, I have people that make $4,000 a month with their job. Well, they may have a coaching program where their coaches pay them $1,000 for their coaching program. They already have 5 clients who are doing part-time. Well, your job is paying you $3,000, $4,000, but you're already making part-time $5,000 with your clients. That's because you didn't do the numbers and because you're still working in fear. So guys, run the numbers. How much do you make in your pocket? How much are your expenses? Where can you decrease expenses and increase income? Decrease expenses, and that means, do you really need cable, or can you just have Netflix? Do you have to order out every single day, or can you just start cooking? Like, where can you decrease it? Can you save money on your cell phone, your car insurance, anything else like that? And the last thing I'll say, this is what I did my business part-time while I was at work first, before I actually like fully left. That means that if I'm doing my business in the evenings, in the lunch, on lunch, in the mornings, on the weekends, if I can make part-time what I'm making with my full salary, and let's say to be responsible, you did it for 3 to 6 months, that's a good indicator, right? The logic is if you can make that money part-time, then if you did actually leave, if that's your desire, and you put the full-time efforts into it, not only would you be able to sustain it, but you would make more. Real quick story, like I literally had took a contract position after leaving my big job to sustain my business, and it dawned on me that I had kind of hit my numbers when I made more, and everybody hear this, in one day than my entire 80-hour paycheck. I made more, and I'm about to run the numbers, and mind you, it wasn't even big. The contracts, so you guys can hear, like, picture this. At the time I was doing clients, they were $550 per client. $550 per client at the time, right? This is the very beginning. My paycheck was $1,500, right? So my actual paycheck, that means for 2 weeks worth after tax, I was bringing home about $1,500. There was a day where I did a client in the morning, I did a client on my lunch, and I did a client in the evening. That's $550 times 3. In one day part-time, I made my entire 80-hour paycheck. I was like, deuces. So guys, look at the actual numbers. Do your business now. Do your business now. I'm busy. Make the time. Nobody has the time. You make the time, and you'll see when you work in that thing how close you are to being able to not only leave, but to flourish, but to thrive, but to have excess of prosperity. Right. So yeah.
Definitely. That's super good. I think the key to it, like you said, is again doing the numbers, right? And again, even when you have your 9 to 5, making sure that you're still working, you're still building your business on the side part-time until it comes a time where you can balance the numbers out, and you're like, okay, look, right now it's time to leave. You know what I'm saying? And very quickly, when it comes to like business credit, again, how does it work, like with the business loans and stuff like that? Do you have to have a set revenue that you're bringing in through your business before you can apply for that? If you could share that with us. Shout out to that's everyone.
Hey, everybody in the building. So let me give you a quick rundown, because I'll give you guys some quick, because I want you guys to have tangible action items, right? So a couple of quick things that you guys can do right away. Number one, no matter what, incorporate. Incorporate now if you have no clients. Incorporate if you don't have any revenue. I don't care. Incorporate the thing. Incorporate.com or Inc. file. Next, to get your EIN. I don't care whether you have employees or not. You need to have your EIN to get the actual business credit, because you want to be in the business's name and not in your name and social. The next thing right after that, get your DUNS. I'll put in the same step. Get your DUNS, D-U-N-S. That's from Dun & Bradstreet. That is free. That is like an identifier for your business. Your DUNS to your business is like your social security number and your date of birth to you. That will help you start building business credit. And get a business bank account. Cash App is not a bank account. Venmo is not a bank account. Get a business bank account. Look, I'm going to be real, right? And so whoever, and guys, action item, whoever your current personal checking and savings with, you already have a relationship with that bank. So go to them first. And then you can start building some tier 1, some tier 2 accounts. But to be honest, one more action item, guys. When you have that business bank account, make an appointment with your small business banker. Period. You'd be surprised. These banks have so much money for entrepreneurs, and people don't qualify because the paperwork is not right. People don't ask about it, and there's funding at these banks that is not on their website. One last 6-figure nugget, guys, is who you're going to, right? So these regional banks, right? Not the big banks like the Wells Fargo's, the Bank of America's and all that, but like the regional banks, the PNCs, the Santanders, the Truist, the Citizens, right? Look at the regional banks. They have more money there than you would believe. And also I use fintech companies a lot. So I train, half of it is getting your credit right, and the other half is knowing where to go to get the money, right? regional bank, fintech companies will fund you faster, less documentation, more money. You just need a couple of people to say yes to you, and then you're off running. Yeah.
That's what's up.
They're gonna
That's
run
what
through.
I'm saying, man. Nuggets, man. I'm telling you. Dropping diamonds right here. I'm telling you. Listen, guys. This interview is going up on the page. So if you need a recap, definitely go, tap in and, rewatch it and rerun it. But man, I'm listening. Let me shout a few people out because a few more people came on here, Queen. Shout out to all your people pulling up, man. All Terry's pulling up, man. Much love to you all. Know that whenever you come on here, if you haven't come on in before, you become part of the Vibe family. Like that, we are all about love, uniting, supporting, and really, coming together, unifying. Shout out to L'Oreal, see L'Oreal, P 113 in the building, Julia, Vibe family, I am Rick is in the building. I think Big Sleep, for what's that? Transformed teacher, I think. Yeah, transformed teacher. Man, there's so many of you, man. Shout out to everybody, man. But I absolutely love it, this interview and this information, like for real. I just feel like, it's again, like you're just wired for success. I see Julia said that about you. You are definitely wired for success. And what I love about it is you wiring so many other people, you know what I'm saying? And that's just a huge blessing. You really are, you really are shining your light, man, and shining that source the way that you should be, man, for real. So listen, what has been the hardest thing though for you? Because, we all go through stuff, even when, you shining as bright as you are. What's been one of the hardest things that you've had to kind of overcome? And
I don't know how to be transparent. So I'm going to be honest, and I bet you somebody out there can relate to this, and I'm just going to say it. It's the lack of support from, like, our immediate circle, our family and friends. Look, can we talk about it? Listen, so many people, like, you launch your business, you launch your album, you launch your project, you're going on tour, and you're like, oh, my first 50 customers, clients, my first sales are going to be, my friends, my family, my network, my neighbors, my school students, people I went to school with, and your biggest supporters will be somebody who met you online, that's never heard anything about you, and just sees your gift. Guys, this is why you have to be doing things, understand what you're doing and why. You're not doing it to appease other people. You're using your gift. You're monetizing your passion. You're doing generational wealth for your family. And do not be tied, and I mean this, y'all, do not be tied to other people's reactions, other people's support or lack of support, because I promise you, I'm going to say it heavy, you're inspiring people who act like they don't even see you. They don't like, they don't share, they don't comment. Come on, somebody. I don't know how to be real. They don't like, they don't share, they don't comment, they're not gonna buy nothing, but they see you, they watch your stuff, they in your stories, and guess what? You hope, but they go low, you go high, right? And so that means that you're not doing it for them, because I think about my 3 sons, I think about my calling, my anointing, then that's the thing that keeps me going. And so I'm like, I'm not tied to people whether they support me or not. I'm gonna keep on being in my gift because that's what I was called to do. And everybody out there, don't let that be look. Come on, somebody. If you can relate to that, I see some people saying that because it hurts.
Man,
it hurts. Like sometimes we have best friends that don't buy nothing, that don't share nothing. Don't get in the dark space, guys. Just go back to why are you doing it. And when you realize that people impact you that are not tied to your results, people impact you that don't have to live with your decisions, then you'll keep on going. We remember your reason why.
Exactly. Yo, listen, we can talk about that all day, man. That's one thing that we talk. That's one thing we really talk about a lot on on both the shows, man, for real. Because I'm telling you, man, it's like, woo, we've all been there. You know what I'm saying? We've all been there. Get to that level, like you just said, and it's such a release, and it's so refreshing when you do get to that level of, I don't even care anymore, man. I'm you know what I'm saying, I'm living in my anointing. I'm doing, I'm serving what my passion is, and I'm doing what I love. So you know what? And that's what my mom always used to say to me. I remember she always used to say to me, don't worry about nothing. She goes, because people are always watching. And you're inspiring them, and it could be super, super hurtful, right? It could be, you're like, well, why didn't they? But just keep going, because if you got that vision, I truly believe that if you have a vision, then God also gave you the ability to make it reality. So don't let people pull you back into a person you grew from. Come on, somebody. I'm like, they lucky they met the new Terri. They lucky they met the personal growth Terri. I'm telling you, listen, man, Terri, man, I just absolutely love you. I'm so glad like you're a part of our family now, the Bike family. You know, we're definitely gonna have to have you back because the time just literally flew, man. The time just is going so quick. But you know, we're definitely gonna meet in person. I know we're gonna do an interview in person. We're definitely have you on, you know, on the other show, on the other platform as well, for real. I'm lucky because I got your number. I'm telling you, and Kano, like, see, my business partner, man, my family, me too. I'm telling you, I told you, man, she's just, I'm telling you, man, such a queen on all levels. So listen, all right, so give us this before closing out. Could you give advice to anybody out there now who's kind of, you know, in a rut and they're kind of struggling and they don't really know how to get out of it? What advice would Terri give to them at this point in time to lift them up and give them that, you know what I mean, that drive and that push for success?
Absolutely.
That you just embody so well?
What I would say, and there's a couple of things. So first I would say, what's feeding into you, right? Like being connected to brands like this are going to help you. And so in this season, can you cut off the TV? Can you stop doing some happy hour, certain things, and really get into, you know, are you reading a book? Do you have a mentor or coach? Are you journaling? Are you praying? So that like quiet time. Ask yourself, what do you really want? Like what really brings you joy? What would be your perfect actual day? And guys, write it down. Number one success tip, guys, is not only creating goals and putting a date to it, but writing it down. There is power to putting pen to paper. So what is it that you want in every area of your life? What is the date? And then what are the actual steps you need to get there? Like I'm going to give you the tangible things. And then identify the distractions. Come on, somebody. Some people, places, things, addiction. Sometimes we got to cut some things off in the season because I'm going to just say it. Self-preservation is needed on this road to greatness. And you cannot cheese this. You cannot save everybody else if you're drowning. So sometimes some of y'all have not gotten to your success because so many people are pulling from you, pulling from you, pulling from you. So learn to say no sometimes while you're on a season of growth. No is a complete sentence. No is a complete sentence. So you can elevate, and then when you get to that level, you make sure you do reach back and help the people who want it, but you can't be saving everybody if you're not saved, if you haven't saved yourself first. I'm going to just say that. And the last thing I'll say about the finances, right? Well, I'll give 2 action items. Pull your credit report and know your scores. Identify your goal, put a date to it, incorporate your business. But the very last thing I'll say, I'm going to say it heavy. Hopefully we'll all be friends after this. But I do not take business, financial, or credit advice from anybody I would not trade lifestyles with.
Facts.
Why are you letting somebody tell you how to be an entrepreneur that doesn't run a business? Somebody tell you how to be a wife that never had a successful relationship. Somebody tell you how to be a parent that doesn't have any kids. Somebody tell you how to buy a house that doesn't own a house. Like sometimes it's our source. Check the source. Somebody telling you how to fix your credit. They owe you $100 right now if they borrow $20 every week at lunch. Stop it.
Thanks. Listen, I'm telling you, I got Man, I'm telling you, I absolutely adore you. I really do, man. I'm telling you, man. I can't wait to have you back, man. There's so many other areas that we could really dive into and get involved in, and you know, I'm really looking forward to it. So, can you got so much going on as well. You know, we spoke about the TV show, but can you just summarize for everybody, you know, who's been on here? Because I know I do the intro for you at the beginning, but just summarize everything you got going on. Tell everyone where they can follow you, and you know, we probably have people on here now that want to tap in with you and connect with you so that you can, you know, become their, you know, financial credit mentor and things like that.
Yes,
so, yeah,
1,000%. So guys, where I'm the most active, there's a ton of free content, free. The only investment is your time is on YouTube. I do Terri's tips every Tuesday and Thursday. I have a whole business credit building playlist, a personal credit playlist. So on YouTube, Terri the Credit Expert. Then obviously here on Instagram, Care Credit Tools. I do have a Patreon community. I do have, you know, a course. So you don't watch one video and become an expert. So what I would say is, you know, stay connected. Come on, because I give out a ton of free information. And then when you're able to invest in more hands-on support, I'm here to help you. But I will teach you how to leverage your personal business credit so you can get that income so you're able to then invest in yourself, because the number one investment is always investing in yourself. So Terri's tips on YouTube, Terri Couser, the Credit Expert. There's like over 1,000 videos of free content, free.com.
That's what's up. And I want to commend and congratulate you, Because didn't you just hit a
I
milestone with your
just hit, and it's actually going up. So I have 1.5 million views. I have 46,000 subscribers and over 1,000 videos. But I'm gonna say something right here. I've made 1,000 videos with nothing but a Samsung Galaxy cell phone. 1,000 videos on my cell phone. Amen.
That's so good. Listen, so I gotta ask you, like, how long
I've only had the channel. I launched it during COVID-19 in 2020, and I only post twice a week. I'm a part-time YouTuber. I only post new videos twice a week, and I launched it during COVID-19 as a free resource for the community for people who need help and couldn't invest in my service. I got tired of people saying, I need help. I'm like, here's a coaching program, and the number's the number. Come on, somebody, right? When we're experts. And they're like, well, I need help. So I'm like, all right, let me give free content. And literally, I'll be honest, YouTube has been one of the biggest blessings. It 10x my business. And I started just as a thing to help. I didn't even know you could be monetized. We'll talk about it one day. But it ended up being one of the biggest blessings to me, like, ever. And it 10x my business. I literally just started just to help the community because I got tired of people saying, I need help, but I can't afford it. So I say, here's free help. Now I've taken away all excuses.
And look, but that's what I'm saying. But that's a classic example of doing something for the love of it. Because I tell people this all the time. When you chase the love and not the money will come. Look how God blessed you on
my
that.
First check was $5,000. My first check from YouTube was $5,000, y'all. And I didn't even know that you could monetize it to this day. No editing. No intro song, no fancy mic, literally just my cell phone. I turn it on, I speak live, I cut it off, I post it, and that's it.
Man.
Thank you.
People really do underestimate, like, you know, we talk about 7 streams of income, right? YouTube is, I'm telling you, if you can master it, like, and you didn't even try to master it, you know what I'm saying? Like, you literally was just, again, just trying to help and put the information out there. And look, God bless you, man. I'm telling you, man, gotta clap it.
Thank you so much.
So listen, thank you so much. You are such a bundle of joy, man, and just, I mean, coming out of everywhere. As I said, you know, the name Strong Jewel goes out to, you know, women and men out there, man. You're a strong jewel. If you are out there, man, overcoming and you're achieving and you're not letting anything get you down, man, and you stay focused and you put God first, you are definitely a strong jewel, man, on another. So I've absolutely loved this interview, man. It's been absolutely pleasure, and I definitely can't wait to have you back. But listen, I do have a quick question before we go. I like to ask you this: like, what's your favorite genre of music? Because you like me, you're a real massive.
I listen to everything, but I'm not even going to lie. I like the old school R&B. Like I like I was just listening to me some Tina Marie the other night, some Roberta Flack, some I like some Luther. I was just some old school, like just the what they're saying even kind of speaks to me. And I'm not gonna lie, I wake up every morning to some gospel because I need to get my mind right. And so, so when I'm working out, I listen to some trap music. Like I listen to a little bit of everything. Like I'll be honest.
I had to ask you that. I can totally relate to it too, because with me, like, again, like all genres, but it really, you know, I have my certain favorites. I like the classics, like you say, you know what I'm saying, the older R&B, but I do like my kind of conscious reggae, you know what I'm saying. And again, you know, when I'm working out, like, you know,
listen, I love you'd be surprised. Even like some of the old, like One Mic by Nas, like the beat to that is like soul. Like certain songs just get me like, you know, Mobb Deep. You know, I love everybody from Philly. Listen, the old school Rough Riders. Come on, like some of the stuff. Like, yeah, you'd be surprised. And when Moxie was out, El Nana, and I had a Sebring convertible, y'all, in Philly at the Greek and at the Penn. Realized I wasn't saved yet. I was out there doing a little bit of everything. Like you couldn't tell me nothing. So yes, music is like part of me.
Yes, I love it. So yeah, I think that's a hard question for me really to answer if someone asked me, because I really do like all genres. Like I'm really, you know what I'm saying, it just depends on the mood, you know what I mean, whatever mood. But yeah, you know, I have to ask you a music question. Couldn't have you off here without asking that. But listen, everybody, please make sure you follow. Make sure you follow Terri. You want to give them your
yes,
ID,
so
you can tap
Care Credit Tools, all one word. My account is verified because you know sometimes it'd be like them fake accounts. So there's a blue dot. It would say Terri Couser. You can type in Terri Couser, or Care Credit Tools is all one word. And on YouTube, Terri Couser. I have a link in my bio that links you to everything also. So I would just love to be part of your journey. I would love to help you and speak life into you and just, you know, help you kind of get to where you need to be.
Listen, you're absolutely beautiful, man, inside and out, and just such a powerhouse. And we're definitely honored to have you as part of our family and the connection, man. It was definitely, again, you know, listen, it was God's divine timing, how it all fell together, you know what I mean? And I came across you and all this. So we're definitely looking to continue to build with you in the future. I want to shout out everybody in the building. Love you so much, guys. Like, I know Terri can vouch for this. I know Kano can. I know everybody who is pursuing their love and their passion can vouch for this. Listen, I always say this all the time. I want to thank you guys, because without you guys, none of us could do what we do. None of us will be successful if it wasn't for the people like yourselves who actually give us the time and follow and support. So listen, all the love, man, all the love and respect goes out to you guys. Thank you so much. I know, yeah, Terri definitely agrees with me on that. So with that being said, though, listen, make sure you enjoy the rest of your weekend. And listen, if you're not following, I don't know what happened, man. You got to make sure you're following the Vibe Show 97.9 FM and Live Vibe Radio, and look out for Queen of Queens. Terri is going to be a guest on that with me too, so make sure you look out for that. It's actually, the first edition is dropping on the 29th of July, so it will be premiering on YouTube, so make sure you stay connected for that. And meanwhile, we do have the review show tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern time. So if you're an artist out there, make sure you submit that music, SJ, the Vibe Show at 97.9 FM at gmail.com. But with that being said, listen, more love, less hate makes the world a better place. And you get it how you give, so get it how you live. It's all about the energy, the synergy you give. You know, we always finish on that because we definitely are about the love, man. Continue to spread love, man, and be that light, man. There's too much darkness in the world already, so continue to just emit that light and love, man, for real. So if you want to add anything,
keep
Terri,
going,
we sign
keep
out?
going. You don't stop when you're in the valley. So king, queen, keep going, because there is abundance and prosperity on the other side of that struggle, that hurdle. So keep going.
Definitely. So with that being said, man, make sure you also check out, I love that was perfect, man, I love it. Check out the station. Go to www.thevibeshow979.net. We are a licensed FM royalty paying syndicated radio station. Yeah, and we play the very, very best and not less of independent and industry music 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So we syndicated with 46 different other stations. And if you want top tier promotional services, actually, if you are a business, you do not have to be an artist, okay? We do everything on a promotional side. You can check out our pages. You can check out how top tier we are, man. It's amazing at what they do. So, definitely go to the website at www.thevibeshow979.net and make sure that you check out the service deck. If you have any questions or queries, you can hit me up directly at StrongJewel215 on the on Instagram. Send me a direct DM. And as well, make sure you check out Vibe One magazine. We have the magazine too, so if you want to feature in that magazine, I'm pretty sure we're going to be putting Terri in it too. That's a little surprise for you. We got to feature in that magazine. Make sure you tap in as well. But with that being said, love you guys. Love you, Terri. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate you. Stay blessed. Stay safe. Lots of muches. Love you guys.